Yo, what up? It's your boy Sean from the Better Days Rain podcast. And today I got good friend Zack Frisoe in the building, boxing phenom.
What's up, guys?
Yeah. I always do that because I see your posts on Facebook all the time. And I'm like,
that, bro.
get it, bro. You know, send you how many gyms are you training with people at?
So I train at Anytime Fitness. I'm a trainer at the one in Hereford, and then I help out at the one in Canyon.
All right.
So yeah, man, it keeps me busy. So after I do this, I have to go train 4 people. So yeah, man, I enjoy it. It's something I'm really passionate about. Something I've didn't think I would end up doing, man. Especially when I was in my addiction.
Bro, I'm telling you. So let's talk about that. I want to open up the floor for you. Like, tell us what it was like in addiction, how you got there, you know, what it was like coming into recovery, struggle that was like, and then of course we're going to talk about all the blessings that have been bestowed upon you since.
Absolutely, bro. So I think really I've struggled with addiction my whole life, man. Addiction runs in my family.
Okay.
I have several family members who have really struggled with alcoholism and with drug use. And so I feel like it's something that kind of runs in my blood, but I really didn't start my really heavy drug usage and alcohol consumption until like later in my early 20s, man. So I was pretty I smoked a little weed in high school. I was pretty straight laced. I played basketball, and that was like my first love, man. Was playing basketball. So I was really invested in that. And so whenever I got out of high school, was really when I started to go out a lot. I started to go to bars. I just was hanging around the wrong crowd, man. So man, it started with like going out and drinking, smoking a lot of weed. And, eventually that turned into, drug usage followed that,
Yeah.
I was just hanging out at like sketchy dive bars, places downtown I shouldn't have been, you know?
Right.
And, man, it was social at first, it was fun. I would just go out with my friends and, I could still live a normal life.
Doing that weekend warrior thing.
Yeah.
I feel
And I was also in my 20s and, I could go out and party and I was functioning, I could still, go to work and, so it gradually just started to get worse though, as the years progressed, especially with my drug use, man. I don't know. I've heard a lot of addicts say like they get to a point where it's just not fun anymore and they feel like they're
dark.
using,
Gets super dark.
Yeah. Just to maintain, man. And so, like I was working, what the turning point for me really was, I was using cocaine for a while and, but it was expensive, it was costing me a lot of money and I didn't really make a lot of money at the time. I was like cleaning floors. I was a floor technician and I was working nights and, man, I was just tired all the time. I wasn't used to working nights. It was just kind of kicking my butt, man. And a guy that I had used drugs with was like, "Have you ever tried amphetamines?" And I was like, "No." He was like, "I believe that." He was like, "That would help you, especially if you're
souped up cocaine. Like let's take it to the next level.
Cheaper, bro.
Way cheaper, last longer.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And
nope, I get it.
I wasn't a very ambitious person back then, man. I really just was drinking a lot. I was doing a lot of blow. I was going out with my friends, Yeah. I didn't really aspire to much, Yeah. I just was kind of living my best life, quote unquote,
Right.
And my friend gave me some of this methamphetamine, man, and he was like, "Try some of this and get back to me and tell me what you think." And man, I'll never forget. I was living at my grandma's house. She had just passed away, but we hadn't sold her house yet. So I was kind of crashing there for the time being, man. And I remember that first hit I took, bro. I was like, man, I've made a huge mistake, bro.
I made a huge mistake. But let me ask you this. How long did it take you to call him back?
Yeah, man, not long, man.
Not long.
Yeah. And
whoa.
I knew whenever I did that, man, that I was in trouble. If I could go back and I could change one thing about my drug use, it would be to never have taken that first hit, man.
I agree.
Because what have I done the last 10 years, man? Trying to chase that first hit, bro.
Yeah.
It
never comes back the same.
One is too many, 1,000 is never enough, right?
Yeah.
So, dude, it was off to the races after that, man. It was my usage just got gradually and gradually worse. And I was hanging around people that were like dangerous, man. Like
Yeah.
they were selling it. They were also like, selling heroin as well, which I experimented with a little bit. But I was more of a speed guy, you know.
Yeah.
I'm not really into downers.
Well, I mean, I did both, bro. I was a combination. Like I would take huge amounts of heroin, and then it's like, oh God, I got to do something. So then
Mhm.
I would, bang a shot of meth to bring me back up.
Yeah,
So it was just like that constant up and down, up and down,
yeah,
up and down,
absolutely, man.
tore
It's
me up.
yeah, it's no joke. And So, but it kind of had the reverse effect for me, you know, like it helped. I think I have ADD, so like it helped me like stay focused, you know,
Yeah.
which I liked that. It helped kind of calm me in a way, which I know that's not traditionally what it does, but
No,
it kind
I
of,
get that. I
yeah,
get that. I completely understand how like a lot of meth addicts become like electricians
yeah.
or something like that.
And I'm a mechanic too,
Yeah,
bro.
see,
So
there you
you know
go.
what I mean?
There
Like,
you go. Like it's just that tinker toy, mentality that meth gives you.
yeah, taking computers apart, and
Taking stuff
cars,
apart. I actually had a funny story. Like, I was living on kind of like the south side of San Jacinto at the time, and where I was ripped, and I decided that I was gonna work on my car.
hmm
And I went out there. I laid down a comforter, right? Got the tools out, and I just started taking the car apart. And 5, 6 hours later, I had all these parts laid out, and I had no idea.
yeah.
I was just
Now, how do I
taking.
put this back together?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
had no idea, dude. Like my baby mama was so mad at me because I mean I totally took it all apart. Cops sat across the street for about 4 or 5 hours and just watched me. I was just taking stuff off, putting it out in the yard. Had no idea how to put it back together.
were they onto you, or were they
Oh, they
like
were
just?
watching. Like they were just watching me. Like, what is this dude doing?
Yeah,
You know what I
man.
mean? And I got to hit a point. She's like, I gotta go. You need to put the car back together. And I was just looking at it all like, oh, yeah, hello,
Yeah, you did
call
some
a
strange
ride.
stuff on that
Call a
stuff,
ride,
man.
bro. Call a
Yeah.
ride.
Yeah. So it's yeah, it took me a while to get to that point. Like it was like I said, it was manageable at first.
Yeah.
But eventually like I still have that craving for it, man. Like even now, not doing it for 2 years, like I still like get that craving. Because it was when I did it, it was the most euphoric.
Yeah.
Like I felt invincible, man. All my insecurities, all
Get
my
that fuzziness,
yeah,
that
man.
fuzzy feeling. Yeah.
Yeah. All my my depression went away. I thought I was 10 feet tall, man. I felt like a god, you
Mm-hmm.
know?
Yeah.
But eventually it got to a point in my usage where that went away, and it was just I feel like I was just doing it to
I
maintain,
mean, just to wake up.
Yeah, and when I did it, man, if I had a bag on me and I knew it was there, it was just every 10 minutes, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Nonstop,
Yep.
I would think the feeling would start to leave and I'd like, gotta do more, man.
Mm-hmm.
And so, dude, I would just marathon it,
Yeah.
just smoke it, snort it. There's a few times where I injected it as well, but man, that was a whole different
It's a whole
ball
different.
game,
It's a
bro.
whole different drug when you shoot it.
Yeah, man.
Entirely different.
Yeah, and it's a miracle that I was able to overcome that, man. Just I know so many people who have been affected by that and had their lives ruined and even died from it, man. But my usage, like I would continuously do it, and I would start having like hallucinations, man. There was a time where I was doing it. I was at my mom's house, man. Like I just was that stuff kills your ambition, So I was living with my mom at the time. I had no job. My whole identity was just consuming this drug just continuously, man.
And months fly
Yeah.
by like.
I just would and I was isolating too.
Yeah.
I think every addict gets to a point where they isolate.
Yeah.
Where
Pretty much.
And I think it was because I knew what I was doing was wrong, and I didn't want anybody to see me. I was real gaunt. I lost
Well,
a
yeah,
lot
you
of weight.
you shrink down and you get
Yeah.
all bony and pale because you ain't been in the sun for a
Or
minute.
haven't had any nutrition at
Yeah,
all.
no nutrition. I get it. Oh, super oily skin. Like I've been there.
Yeah.
Totally been there.
I would be thwacked out, bro, and I would just have protein shakes, and I would drink these protein shakes, and I'd be like, "Oh, these are fine, bro. They'll sustain me." But I'm 6'6", dude. Like,
Dude, I used to do the same thing. I used to do the same thing with Gatorade. I'm like, well, I just destroyed myself. I'm gonna go drink a Gatorade. I'll be all right.
If I just drink like 100 ounces of Gatorade, they won't be able to notice. But of course, my jaw's going 200 miles an hour, bro. My pupils are the size of dinner plates.
Yeah.
So people knew, bro. But I think they just felt sorry for me. They didn't tell me. My mom knew. She was just, I could just see it on her face, man. And she would I would see her cry and uh kind of just the disappointed look on her face, And but in my delusions, while I was high, I thought that I was fooling everybody,
Yeah.
So yeah, man, there was a time where I was using, and I got to a point where I'd used so much that I just had like a psychotic break, man. This was kind of the turning
The
point in my
turning
life.
point.
Yeah.
That pivotal
Where
moment.
I find my usage finally caught up to me, bro. And I finally, the jig was up, And so I had like a psychotic break, man. I had been up for days. I was hallucinating. I was hearing voices. I was seeing things. I believed people were out to get me. My paranoia was just I was all over the place, man. Ended up having a psychotic break. Ended up flipping out at my mom's house, bro, throwing stuff, punching holes in walls, and got the cops called on me, man. Went to jail. It was the best thing that could have happened to me, man. I was really resentful at my mom at the time for calling the cops on me, but now that I look back in retrospect, I needed that to hit rock bottom,
Yeah.
So got taken to Randall County Jail. Dude, and when I went to Randall County Jail, I was so out of my mind. They had to like strap me to a chair. They had to put a mask on me. Like I was just out of control, bro. It was embarrassing,
Raging.
bro. I
You
had
were
me in a
raging.
chair like this, man.
Yeah.
With it was like I was going to the electric
spit
chair
mask
or something.
Spit mask. Yeah.
Now that I look back in retrospect, so embarrassing. But it's funny because one of the like correctional officers at the jail was a member at Nick's Fight Club, the gym, the boxing gym that
Do
I
you
was
remember
at.
you?
Yeah, I remember seeing him the first time and being like, "Hey, that's the guy that like stripped me down naked and threw me in seg, bro." And I was like, I wonder if he remembers me. Like, I'm a pretty tall guy. I feel like I'm pretty easy to remember, but
Yeah.
man, just crazy how it comes full circle like that, So ended up talking to him at the gym, and he remembered me, and he was like, "Man, it's cool to see you like out here working out. Like, you seem like you're doing better, But anyways, yeah, man, I was in there for 30 days. They threw me in the drunk tank for overnight, and then I withdrew in jail.
Yeah.
And all my cellmates were really cool. They knew I was withdrawing. They could just see it. So they were they took care of me. They were real friendly. So I didn't have a bad experience in jail. I think it was just sitting in jail, realizing I was in jail, man. You ever had that moment where you were did you ever do any like jail time or prison time or
I spent probably half of my adult life
man.
Yeah.
It's
on several different occasions.
Yeah. Did you have that like epiphany when you were in jail? Like, man, something's gotta give here, man. I can't keep doing this.
So when I went down to prison, I didn't do myself any favors. Like I'm gonna keep it honest. Like I had been locked up a lot prior to that, and you always hear about like people finding God in prison and stuff, and then they get all super holy, but then once they get back out, they're right back doing the same things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I kind of knew that when I got out of prison, I was going to be right back in the same situation that they just pulled me out of. And so I said, you know what? Like, I got myself here as a man. Like, I'm going to get myself out as a man. I'm not going to ask God to help me out because I know I'm probably going to come back.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, like, I had been homeless for like 6 years.
Wow.
Life was not good. You know what I'm saying? I was living on the wrong side of the line for a long time.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there wasn't a whole lot of I really didn't think life was ever going to change.
Yeah.
Right? I looked at it more as like I'm gonna take this break. I get a break from the real hell that I've been in.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying, I'm on prison like a vacation. But I got myself here. I'm not gonna ask God to, help me out at all because my life, and this is what I'm gonna be coming back to. And kind of reached a point to where it's like when we talk about repentance, like turning away and actually asking for forgiveness and moving the other direction. Like I didn't think that was really an option for 15, 20 years. You know what I mean? So I got myself in there and crashed out, started tattooing people and making hooch and doing everything I'm not supposed to do.
Oh wow.
Crashing out, putting my helmet on and just being a knucklehead.
Yeah, so you kind of decided you weren't done with that lifestyle yet.
I
You
had
just kind of,
literally, by
yeah.
the time I had gotten there, I'd already been a multiple felon.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So at that point, it was like, life's not going to. I
Yeah.
had reached that self acceptance, like, this is my life. And I'm
Yeah.
just going to thug it out.
Mm-hmm.
And either I'm going to overdose one day, somebody's going to kill me, or I'm going to catch a life sentence.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I was at for my mentality for a very long time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because life wasn't changing. Never seemed to catch traction.
Yeah.
Anytime I tried to get sober, I tried to put myself in some situations that where I could get sober, they never left.
Yeah.
So, and you just get tired of feeling like you have hope. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So I just kind of got tired of having hope that things were going to change. And so you get hopeful and then you just feelings hurt when it doesn't.
Yeah.
And so I just reached this point of self acceptance, like it's going to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure. And you'll like you'll be doing good for a while. So what would happen with me? Like I've been fighting this thing for a long time, man. I like you'll be doing really good and you'll have an extended period of sobriety and then get that text from the dope man, bro. And it's almost like a switch flips in you. All rationale goes out the window, you know?
Right.
Like you're like, I know this is bad for me. I know I don't need to do this, but it's like something chemical, man, on a chemical
Mhm.
level. It's like, you know, and then next thing you know, I'm driving 90 down the highway,
Yeah.
you know, and I love that thrill of going to get it, man. I think that's better than actually getting it and doing it, man. You know what I mean? Like,
Knowing that it's about to be here, it's like,
yeah.
yeah. No, I knew that in Dallas. So when I first went into sober living, I went into Oxford House,
Okay.
and I was tore up, bro. I had developed liver disease really bad. I
Wow.
could literally barely walk.
Wow.
Like I was pretty much on my deathbed when I got there, and of course to live in Oxford House, you have to find a job. So
Yeah.
I was making myself get up and get on the DART bus to go look for a job, in tons of pain, and and Dallas is big, bro. But I was a pretty known cat up
Okay.
there. And so, but I knew there was one day I was going to Walmart to actually just get a house, and our Oxford House was in a nice neighborhood, and I got on the bus and it was
Okay.
like, bro, where the dope at? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
And I was just like, there's no way I'm gonna be able to get.
Yeah.
There's no way. Like, everybody knows me, and they know
Mhm.
me in that life. So that's when I came back to Amarillo and actually jumped into treatment.
Okay.
But yes, like I had to completely separate myself from the environment altogether. I had to cut off everybody,
Mhm.
friends, associates, family. Like
Find a new way of life,
like
man.
when I
Yeah.
went to Another Chance House, I literally had like 8 phone numbers. I was like my sister, my mom, my dad,
Yeah.
the shelter I was living at. You know what I'm saying? And my sponsor. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
but other than that, like everybody had to go for a
Mhm.
while, and I left it like that for about a year.
Yeah. You're a walking miracle, man. That's amazing.
Yeah, it
You're
was
able to
crazy.
overcome all that. Is the Oxford House like one of those things where like you have to pay weekly?
Yeah.
And there's like a bunch of people living in a house.
So it's so basically what Oxford House is it's people who come into recovery. Typically, they want you to have a little stretch of sobriety
Mhm.
before you go in there, like 30 days or something like that.
Yeah.
I kind of had it in, so and he knew my situation, like
Mhm.
like I was crashing out,
Yeah.
and I needed a place to go really bad. Um, so he was able to finagle that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But ultimately, it was a very tough situation. The house, the kids in the house didn't like it because I couldn't make meetings
Mhm.
because I couldn't I could barely get out of bed. Like when I tell you I could barely go do the simple things, like it take me 2 hours to take a shower.
Yeah. Just
Like
because the amount of pain you were in, or just
pain
yeah.
and just no energy. I was like it was bad. I turned jaundice real bad. I was super yellow. Like you can look at me and go like, yeah, that dude's gonna die.
Yeah.
There's no saving him. He's it's just a matter of time until we walk in his room and he's dead in
Wow.
his bed.
I had no idea it was that severe, man.
Right. And when I got to Another Chance House, I mean, that was my first thought when I walked in there. I was like, the house I'm gonna die in.
Yeah.
You know, in Amarillo, Texas, this old, brothel that's been retrofitted into a men's treatment facility. Like, this is where I'm gonna die at.
Yeah.
Um,
It's that point of desperation, man.
well,
Yeah.
but like I didn't even get sober because I wanted to get sober.
Mhm.
Like I had every intention of crashing out.
Yeah.
But when I came to that I'm gonna die realization, like I'm right there at this point. I knew I was at that point. I wanted to see my kids more. I
Yeah.
knew the only way that anyone would take me seriously in the matter if I put.
Hmm.
So I left Dallas initially to go down by them with hopes that I would see them. And like, mind you, like I had no contact orders with the state,
Hmm.
but I was at that point where it's like, dude, I'm gonna die anyway. I just want to see him.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk, even if it's like seeing my son at one of his football games. Like I don't have to go talk to him. I just want to see him,
Yeah.
just to see him one more time. And so I ended up going down to Galveston initially for Oxford House, and that was the absolute.
Really.
Yeah. I went down there, and the people that I was staying with were not good people, and I ended up for 3 months, sleeping in a manure-filled horse trailer for
Wow.
3 months. And mind you, it's Galveston, right during the middle of the rainy season,
Yeah.
so it's wet.
Oh,
It was awful.
not a good situation to be in,
It was
huh?
not a good situation to be in, you know. And at the time, I remember like asking God, I'm like, man, I just want to see my kids, and then I can bounce. And it, again, in retrospect, kind of like you being locked up, I'm glad he did,
Hmm.
right? Because if my kids were to have seen me, they would have seen my absolute lowest.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
And so yeah, so that didn't happen. So that's when I came back to Dallas and went to Oxford. But I mean, I was stuck, like literally stuck. Couldn't work, couldn't walk, sleeping in this filthy horse trailer for 3 months. No food. You know what I mean? Like it was bad. It was roughing it for real.
You were fully accepting that you were gonna
Oh yeah,
die, huh?
like I was already tapped out. Like I'd had multiple conversations with God. Like, bro, I'm done. Like, just do it.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, enough of this game.
Will make me suffer. Yeah.
Yeah, don't
Right.
make me suffer. Just take me out, bro. Like, I'm ready. I pretty much lost all my family.
Yeah.
And the people that I was connected to were not good people.
Yeah.
So I cut them loose. So I was out there literally by myself on my own, nothing.
Yeah. For sure, man.
And God had another plan.
Absolutely, man. That's how I felt in Seg whenever they threw me in Seg.
Yeah.
So like I just was not compliant when I got in there, man. I just was I thought I was the victim, right? Because I was I was a narcissist, man. I was it was everybody else's fault. I was the victim in every situation.
Yeah.
I just didn't have that self-awareness yet,
Yeah.
that the program has given me. And so, I go to jail. I'm acting real stubborn. I'm being kind of an asshole to the CEOs, just not being very compliant. So get thrown in seg, dude. That was the longest 30 days of my life, man. Golly, I felt like I was an animal in a zoo, man. Like I was getting my food fed to me through a tray or through my tray through the little slot in the door.
I feel you.
And I don't know what I'm eating. I have a mystery meat patty. And
Oh yeah.
dude, I was in there for my birthday, man. Worst birthday ever, man.
Yeah.
Now every year on my birthday, I think about when I was in jail. And I was like, I remember they gave us like malto meal in the morning with a little square thing of jelly on top.
Yeah.
I was like, hey man, can I get some like extra malto meal? And the CEO was like, shut up. No, you're not getting you're not getting more malto meal on my birthday. And I was like, man, this sucks. And so anyways, I'm in there for 30 days and but at the time I'm not really being introspective. I'm like I said, I'm playing the victim. I get out and so my mom had like a protective order against me, as she should have, because I was using dope, man. I was unpredictable. I was all over the place. So I go back to get my things because I'm staying. I'm trying to find a place to stay, and I end up using again as soon as I get out. I wasn't ready to give that up yet. And so end up like getting in an argument with my mom, get arrested again, violating that order, go back for 30 days, end up in seg again. And so yeah, same experience that was from before. Get out and they give me probation. I had to do probation for a year, deferred adjudication. But I show up, man, to my meet with my probation officer, pissed dirty twice in a row, and then just stopped going. Like I just didn't show up to my appointments anymore. and went back one day to like pay my fees and got arrested at the courthouse.
Yeah.
So they take me back to jail. I stayed there for another 60 days, or I'm sorry, 30 days. And not in seg this time. I'm in Gen Pop. And dude, it was just at that point, after the third time going to jail, I'm just like, dude, something has to change. I can't keep repeating this pattern, you know?
Yeah.
I was starting to get to that point of desperation where I was like, something's got to give, you know? And I think the worst feeling ever, man, was falling asleep in jail and having dreams about being on the outside, about living a normal life, and then just waking up. You know, I have that white ceiling right here, bro.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's this far away from my face. I'm on the top bunk.
Yeah, because they always put the big dudes on the top bunk for some reason. Like it just works out that way.
Yeah, and I'm 6'6", man, so my legs are hanging off, and like I just
I feel you.
I was crammed, it was uncomfortable, and dude, that's when I was like, okay, I gotta, something's gotta change. So I talked to, there was this, I forgot his name, man, but it was this CO, really, really kind guy. I wish I could go back and talk to him, but I forgot his name. He was really accommodating, man. I was like, look, man, I gotta find like a treatment center, somewhere to go when I get out of here, so I can get clean. Like this is getting to a point where it's I'm gonna die. Jails, institutions are death, right?
Yeah.
And so he referred me to, I didn't have insurance, you know, because I think I was like, I know I was past the point of being able to have insurance, be on my parents' insurance.
Yeah.
I believe I was 27 or 28 at the time.
Right.
And so I could only go to like a state funded facility. So he referred me to the Serenity Center. So as soon as I got out, I beelined it over to the Serenity Center. And man, that was an experience for sure. It was you know, it's like in the middle of a field between Amarillo and Plainview.
Yeah.
So I felt like I couldn't run away, you know? So I ended up staying there for a couple of weeks, and you know, really was the best thing for me at the time. And you know, I had a bad attitude whenever I went there. I didn't want to be there, but I knew something had to change. You know, I knew I needed to, you know, where I was going, I was going to die. And so you know, we'd have to get up at like 5 a.m. and do chores, and then we'd have like meetings we'd have to attend. We would go into Lubbock to go to meetings, and you know, we would all eat together, and we that's kind of where I learned to, like, I don't know, like find my place within a group, where I've learned to develop structure, you know?
Yeah.
Where I learned to develop stability, you know, getting
Open
in a
up
routine.
a little bit.
Yeah. You know, and that stability was really good for me when I went there. I didn't really, you know, I've never had that growing up, man. That's something I've always kind of longed for. You know, some background on kind of my upbringing. So whenever I was born, my parents were already kind of on the verge of being separated, you know?
Same.
Yeah. And so I grew up in a home. I think they just stayed together, you know, for me and my brother, you know, I don't think
Try to make it work for the kids.
Yeah. They really didn't love each other anymore. And so,
Yeah.
you know, I grew up in an environment that was very chaotic. You know, there was a lot of yelling, a lot of screaming. You know, I remember my mom trying to stab my dad with a pair of scissors one time, man, because she was, you know, it was just nuts, man. You never knew what was going to happen, you know?
Yeah.
You know, very like outward appearances, like seemed like they had it all together, but behind closed doors, it was a nightmare.
Totally
you know?
different thing.
Yeah. So I remember just being in my room and my parents arguing and me putting my hands over my ears like this, just trying to tune it out, you know? So I grew up, chaos was kind of all that I knew, you know? So whenever I
got around your friends, that was your escape.
Yeah. Or just like being on my own, isolating, man.
Yeah.
And just not talking about it and really trauma bearing it, you know? And so like you know, I'm just now at 35 starting to go to therapy. You know, I have my first meeting with my therapist tomorrow, where I'm really trying to kind of sort through some of that stuff that I've buried for years of my life, you know?
Right.
I just, you know, quitting drugs, I feel like is the easy part, but sifting through all that emotional baggage that I have, you know, finally confronting it and, you know, putting a face to it and trying to deal with it in a healthy manner. That has been the difficult part for me, bro. You know? Yeah. And when I I feel like I can't do it, that's when I go back and I want to alleviate that pain, you know,
Yeah.
through drug usage or
Mhm.
through drinking, you know.
No, I get it.
And so, yeah, man, I grew up in just kind of very chaotic environment. It's really my default setting, you know. It's all I've known. And so having that stability was really important for me, and something that I really needed at the time. You know, just structure, discipline,
Yeah.
getting up and you know mopping the floors or taking the trash out or you know going to a meeting.
For me, it was having that sense of contribution.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
a
saying?
purpose.
Like
Yeah,
having something other than just dwelling in my own trash and that isolation.
yeah,
Um, when I was in treatment, man, I would often do other people because
yeah,
it would make me to do something for the house.
yeah.
You
Absolutely.
know what I mean? Because I couldn't do much because I was real weak.
Mm-hmm.
So doing things around the treatment facility made me feel good. Sitting down, talking to guys, letting them kind of release some of their stuff
Yeah.
made me feel good.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of what put me on this whole path.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Was realizing that I'm a good listener and that um, most of my life I ran through lives horribly,
Yeah.
and so for me, my recovery is very important for me. That
Yeah.
because oftentimes,
Absolutely.
like especially like in AA, we talk about the living amends,
Mm-hmm.
which what I'm saying is trying to right your wrongs, live a life completely opposite of what you were living. And I sat down, I said, okay, what kind of skills do I have from being a meth addict for 25 years and a heroin addict,
25.
25-year meth addict. I was homeless for 15 years, about 15 years. I was on heroin for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I was I was hardcore. I was a hardcore.
Yeah.
Nothing. I banged meth for
Yeah.
2-3 times a day.
That's usually the point of no return, man.
Yeah, no, it really
Yeah.
was. It really was at a point of no return. So uh, when I came into recovery, I said, okay, what am I going to do? I have no basic skills, right? I got my GED in prison.
Mhm.
So, but I had no trade, you know what I'm saying? All I lived my whole life was
Yeah.
kind of like you. I had a jacked up childhood,
Mm-hmm.
very chaotic home. So I was very rarely home.
Yeah.
And because I was so angry at that home life, I never went to school.
Yeah.
So lots of times I would leave, hang out with my friends until they had to go home. And then I would go just wander off by myself,
Yeah.
till 1, 2 o'clock in the morning and then sneak in through my window,
Yeah.
type deal, just long enough to sleep, wake up and get out of the house as quick as possible before a whole bunch of drama started again.
Yeah. Absolutely, man.
So I came in and I said, well, why not use the addiction?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm an expert at addiction. I've been in addiction my entire
Yeah.
since I was probably 11 years old,
Mm-hmm.
and I was faithful to it,
Yeah.
right? But I've had all the bad things happen. Right? I've had my kids taken from me. I've lost my family. I've been homeless. I've gone to prison. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
there's a wide spectrum of bad things that have happened to me in my life.
Yeah. Nothing good happens from
You know what I mean?
using
Like,
substances like that, man, for
the
sure.
street life, all of it. And so I said, you know what? I'm going to use it to help people, right? Because I've been through a lot of those.
Yeah.
I've been through. There's not. I'm not gonna say I've been through everything, but there's not very much somebody can come talk to me about that I haven't experienced.
Yeah. And that's comforting, man.
You know what I
Something I
mean?
love about the program.
And
You
so
know.
I took that and I went and got certified in peer support. Through reentry and mental health and RSPS, recovery. And I took that.
Awesome, man.
I built a recovery program on my own, and then we started the podcast. Wrote a book. Like, I've done some things to help people, and that has been the best recovery program for me, is to be of service to other people.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. What's your book called?
So we haven't put a title to it yet. It's still in the editing
Oh,
process.
okay, cool. I thought you'd already
So,
written it. I didn't know it
well,
was
it's
okay.
it's written. It's being edited at the moment.
Okay.
So as soon as I get the editing notes, I'll make the corrections, and then we'll probably publish it up on like Amazon.
Awesome, man. I can't wait
Yeah.
to read it. Is it like a kind of autobiography type thing, or is it like?
Well, so what I did was I built a program of recovery that you can use it in a group setting, but it can also be like one on one. So I've made it to where it can be tailored.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So if I have a client, right, I can sit down with them and really get a feel for where they're struggling at, right?
Hmm.
And then I basically can tailor make program of recovery fit
Okay.
your specific needs,
Okay.
right? And then we do one-on-one coaching to
Great.
work through that.
Yeah, I can't
Uh,
wait to read it, bro.
so what I
Awesome.
did is I took that program and I took pieces of my life, book over,
Amazing, man.
you know, so that way for those people who maybe don't have that quite that courage to walk into an AA room and air their stuff out,
Hmm.
or you know, or just don't want to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, just I'm not going to do it. You know,
Yeah.
they have something to read and look through at home, and maybe give them that deep self reflection that they need to
Yeah.
work through their problems.
Absolutely, man.
You know, so
How was it for you when you first started going into the rooms? Did you kind of feel that anxiety? Did you feel that discomfort?
I had that sign on my face. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
had that sign with the finger that just did that. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
like
yeah.
I was mad
Mhm.
for, I mean, first 6 months.
Yeah.
I was highly pissed.
Mhm. Were you
Like,
did you not share? Were you kind of
oh
would
no,
you sit in the
I
back
was
and
the one. I was the guy that aired everybody out. Like, across the room, if somebody said something, like, I was that ignorant. I was that
would you
crash
be like,
out
"Yeah,
guy.
you're full of
I was
shit."
that
Yeah.
dude that needs to go to seg. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Sag will humble you, bro, for
You know,
sure.
so
Yeah.
because again, like when I came into recovery, I didn't think I was going to live.
Yeah.
You know, and that mentality stuck with me for a while.
Mhm.
You know, got to the point where I didn't fear dying. I was just waiting for
Yeah.
it. You know, but then I had a really bad. So my liver gave out while I was in treatment, and it felt like a bomb
Man.
went off in my gut.
Yeah.
Like it hurt.
Pain like
So
no other, huh?
dropped me like a sack of doo doo. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
for
Like it
sure.
dropped me hard,
Yeah.
and I just hit the ground, and they called an ambulance and went to the hospital. And I just remember laying in the hospital. I was done. So guys, man, take my life again.
So that was your moment where it was like
That was kind of my
your
moment.
epiphany, yeah.
That was my moment where it was where I was defeated, absolutely defeated. And I was like, bro, I'm done. Like I'm done fighting, done suffering.
Yeah.
Take my life or give me something better.
Mhm.
And I was in the hospital for about 2 weeks, and got out of the hospital, got back over to the treatment center, and they give me a cane to help me walk, but I was able to go outside and hear the birds chirp, you
Yeah.
know, and sit under the trees and feel the breeze, you know, because not being able to walk, I was stuck inside all the time. I couldn't
Yeah.
leave. So being able to just sit outside was like,
It's
fresh
nice,
air,
yeah.
you know what I mean? And you start, I was watching the trees, just the leaves in the trees,
Yeah.
the little birds flying around, and it was just like, it was peaceful. Okay, and piece by piece, I started building back up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I was getting a little stronger every day. I was able to walk a little bit further. I was able to eat a little bit more,
Yeah.
you know? So after about 6 months of that, um, my spirit kind of came back. And so I was like, okay, whereas I rejected it at first, then I started being grateful for the life that I had because I was slowly getting that piece of me back.
Yeah.
So you start building
Absolutely.
that little sense of gratitude.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
You know what I'm
that
saying?
had a kind of that was your moment, first moment of gratitude getting
Yeah. So
out.
you start developing that gratitude and you're like, okay, well, how can I expand on it?
Mhm.
So I started helping people.
Yeah.
You know, I started working the coffee bar, you know, and then it drifted off into once I, you know, did all my step work and got through that and felt like I had a good solid hold on it. And well, I say that, slop. Let me slow down.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I was going to AA and still had tons of questions.
Mhm.
Like AA was covering a lot of things, but like I was deeply messed up
Yeah.
for a long period of time. So whereas it was helping me in some areas, it was confusing me to death in others. Like it was terribly confusing. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna put my college.
Yeah. Find yourself, man, really for the
You know what I'm
first
saying?
time, you know?
So I started going to AC for my psychology degree
Okay.
just to figure me out. Like I needed some answers on what I needed to do. And again, that was a great thing for me to get into, right? And I'll be honest, right? I'm 2 classes away from graduation, but like at the end of the day, I don't feel any smarter, no dumber,
Mhm.
you know? But the environment that it put me in changed my life forever.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, you're in a classroom with people. Everyone in there is trying to elevate themselves.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Everyone in there is trying to succeed, and so it did a lot for me, and everybody's clean.
Yeah,
You know what I
absolutely.
mean? Um, so it was ultimately probably the best decision I had ever made, because if I wouldn't have, I was one of the, I'm that type of person, right? Um, why go back to what broke me?
Yeah.
And I knew that if I just went and got some sort of just bum job that I wasn't going to appreciate and that I knew I appreciate,
Mhm.
I would end up using.
Yeah, just because that like feeling of it being dead end,
Yeah, like
not really feeling like
this is what I literally destroyed myself over,
Mhm.
because I thought there was no options, and then I'm going right back to it.
Yeah,
And so it put me back in that defeated mindset. I said, no, I got to elevate. I got to put myself in the room. So of course, went for my psychology degree, got certified, and now I'm a coach, and I do this. I do the podcast. The podcast has been amazing for me.
yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Just hearing other people's stories, man, and getting a little piece of someone else's recovery.
It's humbling. You know, a lot of people sit there and think I'm on this ego trip. They're like,
Nah, bro,
he
nah.
just loves to see himself in front of the camera. I get it a lot, bro. Like
Uh-huh.
I get it a lot. Like he's just ego tripping. And you know, plus people on YouTube are ruthless. You like when it comes to the comments, like they are cutthroat for
Yeah,
real.
man.
Like no, they don't hold back anything. You know, but it's been super humbling, like to get people who comment from, you know, say like England, Australia, you know, Africa, everywhere. I've had
Yeah.
people that are part of this that watch this show from all over the world.
Thousands of people, man.
And that was
Yeah.
my goal, to be of maximum service, where I was that to me that's the exact opposite. I was maximum chaos in
Mm.
addiction. So maximum service to me is that repentance, right? And in doing that, I've been able to find peace with God. I've been able to make peace with a lot of my family.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And ultimately, like I'm not angry. I'm not mad at nobody anymore.
Yeah.
It's really hard to get me out of character.
Yeah.
Now I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but you've really got to tweak on me a little bit to get me to go left.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, so it really changed me as a person, brought me closer to God. Man, my spiritual connection with Him is stronger than ever. You know, was able to settle down long enough to get married. You know, and another blessing on my life. You know, and really just create a good living out of using what destroyed me.
Yeah, your
You know what I'm
testimony, man.
saying? Like using
Absolutely.
what broke me to help other people has been the biggest blessing of my life. And so, whereas a lot of people would say they hate the addiction, like I would tell you right now, like I am grateful and I love every 25 years of it,
Yeah.
right? Because I'm able to use it to help people not go down the same road I've been
Yeah.
down.
And it's a
And
beautiful thing finding yourself after being after identifying as an addict for so long, I often talk about in meetings how like I felt like I was on autopilot for so long
yeah,
for, my late teens and my all my 20s, and I feel like that guy in 28 days later when he wakes up out of a coma and it's like
oh,
that's how I felt, man. I after I got clean, after I went to the Serenity Center, I went to Lubbock to stay in a house kind of similar to Oxford House.
yeah,
And started going to Hub of the Plains was really where I started going to meetings. Um which was great, man. I was kind of like how you were when I first went though. Like I didn't want to be there. I was shy. I didn't really feel like I had anything to contribute, but I knew I needed to be there. I knew I was around people that were trying to elevate themselves,
yeah,
And so I'm a firm believer in you're gonna mimic your surroundings,
yeah,
and so or the kind of people you're around, so I knew in order to start a program in recovery I needed to be around you know recovering addicts,
solid people,
yeah,
or at least people trying to
with
go
some
that way.
time that
Yeah,
knew what they were talking about, so I started really hitting meetings hard, and that's the thing, man. Like when I first got clean, I didn't really have a job at the time, so I had all this time to go to meetings, So I would try to hit 2, 3, 4 meetings a day. I was really adamant about trying to get some solution, man.
yeah,
Cause I really didn't have the support of my family. My family always kind of looked down on on my addiction. You know, they kind of
Mhm.
disowned me. And so I kind of had to figure it out on my own, man. I had
Yeah.
I felt very lonely trying to figure it out on my own, you know? And I still like don't talk to my family. I'm not close with them.
Bro,
Yeah.
that is still like the number one most awkward moment for me, and my family like is more accepting of me, right?
Hmm.
And like they know that it's awkward for me, right? But
Yeah.
like it's still I still get like nervous whenever I call my family.
Yeah.
Holidays, man, I am on eggshells the entire
Yeah, it's
time.
not good, man.
And it's
It's
not that I want to
mhm.
be, it's just like I spent so long away from my family
Yeah.
to be around them. And you know, I get to hear my brothers and my sisters, they talk about all the vacations and things that they do.
Mhm.
And I'm like, 25 years, we can talk about prison. You want to talk about prison? Like, we can talk about that.
Yeah, 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 for
You know what I mean?
sure.
Like, I have nothing good to talk about.
Yeah.
So, coming into after I got a little stretch of sobriety, that was really awkward. That's kind of eased up now that I've started becoming a part of more things,
Mhm.
you know, but it's still pretty nervous.
Yeah,
So,
my it's still that toxic environment that I grew up in. You know, nothing has really changed. Still very explosive tempers, very hurtful words. And so, you know, a lot of times that I relapsed was because I think I'd put myself around in situations that weren't good for me with my family, you know. They kind of made me feel less than or made me feel insecurities that I had felt before, you know.
yeah,
So
I get it.
something that I had to do that was instrumental for my recovery, and I think is one of the reasons I've, you know, accumulated some time now is having to remove myself from that situation.
Would you, how long you got?
Man, I got 9 months on the 6th of this month, man. I appreciate you. Yeah.
Yeah, congratulations,
It's
bro.
good stuff, man. But the thing is, 9 months is usually when I relapse, man, because the thing is I start feeling good about myself. I'm like, you know, I can have a little drink, I can have
Yeah.
a little, you know, and then it's I kind of rest on my laurels a little bit. I don't work my recovery or I get busy. I start seeing the fruits of my labor, you know. But
And I feel like this is where AA kind of flaws, right? Because we always talk about, especially when we're talking about boundaries, right? We say, well, we got hard boundaries and then we got soft boundaries,
yeah.
right? And one thing I've just learned, bro, like things that are trying to destroy me, those are non-negotiable.
Yeah.
Like non-negotiable. Like those are non-negotiable hard boundaries.
Mhm.
Whether it's family, drugs, alcohol, toxic situations, stupid people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I just don't flirt with things that I know are out there to wreck my life anymore.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just never make it an option
Yeah.
for under any circumstance. Like, because you're right. I'm like, this last Christmas we went down to my dad's, and then, you know, I could probably today, honestly, I could probably go have a beer with my dad and it'd be fine.
Mhm.
Nothing would happen, you know.
Yeah.
But then I would say nothing happened that time,
Yeah.
and I would make an excuse to do it again. And next thing you know, I'm at the bar. Next thing you know, I'm at the trap house. You know what I'm saying? So I
Yeah.
just don't make those things optional.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And this disease, man, I literally battle with it on a minute to minute
Yeah,
basis, you know.
yeah.
It's unrelenting, man. I've seen people I've buried people that have succumbed to this disease, man. I was another part of my story, I was in Lubbock, started doing real good, got a sponsor, started accumulating some clean time. Met a girl in recovery that I really liked. Dated her for about 3 years. Um, and I was in Lubbock and I really didn't want to be in Lubbock. I really not a huge fan. I just wanted to go elsewhere, but I know I didn't want to go back home kind of to where the source of my trauma and my
Is that where you're from, Lubbock?
no, I'm from Amarillo. I was born in
Okay,
Amarillo, but I moved to Lubbock, yeah, after
gotcha.
the Serenity Center, to get some treatment there and go to meetings. And so after my stay there, and so I ended up like she wanted to be close to her family. Her family lived over in Mineola, Texas, which is close to Tyler.
Okay.
And so she wanted me to go with her. And you know, at the time I thought I was gonna marry this girl. I was really in love with her. She had accumulated some clean time. She was like kind of the head of a like recovery house for women.
Yeah.
And so she worked a real solid program. And so I ended up moving with her down to be closer with her family and ended up going to school at Tyler Junior College. That kind
Okay.
of was the same way. I was like, okay, I can put myself in school. You know, I can have a plan. And my plan was to go to be a physical therapist assistant.
Huh?
Kind of did some research, and you know, I was getting, that's just kind of the point where I was starting to get in shape. You know, I was a bigger dude.
Yeah.
I've lost about 120 pounds, and
Oh.
so
And you know, when I first met you, I thought the exact opposite.
oh yeah.
I did. I thought you were like a really skinny dude that finally put some meat on him. Like yeah, it was.
Yeah, it's the
I
opposite.
like I literally thought that the entire time.
Yeah, which is crazy because I was a fat meth head. You don't see that
Yeah,
often, right?
yeah, right.
It's like I was
Well,
putting
you
it on,
probably see it more than you think.
people probably thought I was putting it on cheeseburgers or something like that,
Yeah.
right?
No,
But,
that is kind of wild. Yeah.
yeah, and so I started really kind of, I got to a point in my recovery where I was trying to establish some different habits and trying to find a new way to live, you know? So I thought, I really didn't have a lot of money at the time. So my life was really hitting meetings, and then like I bought a cheap pair of running shoes. So I thought, you know, if I can just like run a 5K, that'll be a good kind of
Yeah.
way to get my mind right, get my spirit right. It's not really about vanity, man. It was just about trying to calm this, you know,
Right. Right. Right.
those thoughts in my head
Yeah.
that led me down that dark road of addiction,
Mm-hmm.
man. So it was, and running for me is a very spiritual thing, man. I still run today, and that's like my time where I can tune everything out, where I can just like put my music on and my worship music, and I can
Yeah.
just have my conversation with my higher power, you know?
Yeah.
That's a very valuable thing for me that I feel like everybody needs something like that where they can just like, I feel like in the day to day, it's so easy to get caught up in just all the things that we have to do, all the
Yeah.
little mundane
Well, it's all
things,
the
you know?
noise.
Yeah.
All the noise and everything. Like I started waking up at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, and it's amazing what you can get done before 6 a.m. when you wake up early. Like,
Yeah.
I'm able to today. Like I'm able to really take my afternoons and spend them with my wife instead of slaving a lot.
Yeah.
Because I get all my stuff done.
Mhm.
Like pre AM, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
super early in the morning. I get my coffee done, I get my devotional done, I get, all my posts up,
Yeah.
so I like
It's valuable, man.
by the time I show up to work, it's let's shoot a show and let's work on other people's stuff.
Hmm.
Because all my stuff's pretty much done by the time I get here.
Yeah.
So like every now and then it's not, but I've been staying on top. Getting up earlier in the morning has really helped me stay on top of things.
Yeah. And you're already, you know, getting, while other people are sleeping, you're already
Yeah.
mapping out your day and doing things that are good for you.
Well, I truthfully feel like you can hear God better when none of this is going on.
Yeah,
When
absolutely.
you know what I'm saying? It's super quiet. There's no distractions. There's no noise. There's nobody telling you what to do. You're not looking for traffic. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's just you and God at that moment. So it's been a blessing since I started doing it. Every morning I feel better.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
wake up in the morning and I have super high energy.
Hmm.
And then of course that spiritual connection's better. I feel like I get more done. I feel more accomplished,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I sleep 10 times better.
Yeah.
So I used to get really bad dreams about heroin,
Yeah.
right?
Using dreams.
Yeah, using
Yeah.
dreams,
Those
bad, right?
using dreams, man.
Bad, and then
Yeah.
and of course gas falls off when you get those, right? Um, but I mean, I would literally wake up and I could taste the vinegar.
Yeah, man. It's
Like
it's
I
it's
was
a
like, oh wow, and so it make me. That's when you start fiending, right? I don't get those no more. Like
yeah.
I sleep like a rock.
Yeah, I
I'm
dealt with those really bad, man, whenever I was first getting clean. I would wake up and I'd feel like I like almost hung over.
Yeah.
You know, and I'd kind of feel this weight on me, this heaviness that I just used, but I hadn't. And I don't know if that was just my body craving it, or because I eventually like they stopped. Like I don't. Every now and then I'll get a craving, but you know, I have one of the things that's like the words that I love in recovery has been like discernment, being like having the ability now to be like, hey, this isn't good for me.
Yeah.
Like if I do this, I'm gonna go down, you know,
Yeah.
and not just being reactive, you know, in the moment.
I think
But
that's what AA really helped me out a lot.
yeah.
Right. So my last fall off was,
Hmm.
and like I knew it then. I was like, dude,
Yeah.
it has to stop. So you typically see the 90 and 90, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Dude, I did 540 meetings in 6 months.
Wow, man, that's incredible.
That's
So
three.
that equates to how many a day?
That's 3 a day, every day, no breaks.
Wow.
So
It's admirable, man. That's
That
no easy feat for sure.
well, I did it for multiple reasons. For one, um, like I got to that point where I dropped out of college, right,
Hmm.
because of my drug use. Um, so I wanted to get back into school, but I knew I needed.
Yeah.
So I started going to 3 meetings a day. So I'd hit 3 different clubs every day. Uh, but again, you fall back into that service part. So then I was sponsoring. So then I wasn't always going for me. Sometimes I was going for other people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And being in the sport. And typically that's why I go today. Like
Yeah.
I try to hit meetings 3, 4 a week,
Hmm.
but typically I go for other people,
Yeah.
because that's helps me in my recovery more than anything else.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But yeah, 540 in 6 months. And then I took a little break and got back into school and stuff. And it was it, great that I could discipline.
Yeah.
So is you just start to me that was a win, right? I
Hmm.
disciplined myself for 6 months to do that. Then I'm gonna discipline myself through school and show up when I don't want to show up.
Yeah.
And sometimes school, man, like college algebra is no joke.
Yeah, man. I haven't
I
I haven't
hate,
had to take a math class yet, man, but I'm
bro.
dreading it. I was always more of a reading comprehension type more than I
So
was a
I
math guy.
college has been a breeze for me, right? Except for college algebra. Like I'm
Don't
about
tell me that, bro. I'm dreading it now. I was
no.
already dreading it.
So so when you go into college, right? They typically want you to take math first
Yeah, for
because
sure.
it is hands down the hardest class.
Hmm.
You know, I saved it for last,
Yeah.
right? And so coming up and this, well, I'm probably not going to take it till the fall, honestly, but this will be my third time taking the class.
Yeah.
It is ruthless.
Just basic college algebra or
Yeah, it's basic college algebra, but you know, I think I have, honestly, in truth, I think I have like a 7th grade education when it comes
yeah,
to math.
for sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I got my GED in prison, but like that math part has always gotten me.
Yeah,
And
same
I
here.
dropped out of high school in my freshman year.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, I haven't done it since high school, man. So I'm
man,
dreading it as well.
I'm telling you, so I did the 8 week class and totally freaked out. I did the 16-week class and freaked out even worse.
Yeah.
Like I literally had like I felt myself get really hot. I thought I was gonna pass out because I was panicking.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, I got to get out of here.
Do you struggle with like anxiety, like
Oh yeah,
still?
yeah. I don't think that's ever gonna go. I still fidget real bad.
Yeah.
And you'll always know when I'm paying attention to something because like I'll start, you know,
Yeah.
I'll start going. I'll start, gritting my teeth. Every now and then, I hate it. It's one of those ticks that, you always hope goes away, but it never really does.
Yeah. I feel like I've burned a few holes in my brain, man, just from
Bro, there's
the
times,
amount of drugs I've used, man.
bro,
Either
there's
that be,
times I'm critiquing my shows and I'm like, tweaker, dude. Like you tweaker, bro.
Yeah.
Like Jaws just going.
I'll just disassociate sometimes,
You
or
know,
I'll
like,
leave the conversation or I still struggle with my memory, man. Like there were times where I was using where I don't remember anything I did,
yeah,
man. I don't
no,
remember. People tell me I did things, and I'm like, what?
nope,
And
nope.
I don't know if that's because I've heard people who use dope have had similar experiences.
Oh yeah,
But
I've had complete blackouts.
yeah, man.
Complete blackouts.
And that's kind of what happened to me when I went to jail the first time, man. When I had my psychotic break, like I remember I just like snapped, and I remember like throwing a few things, and then I just like and next thing you know, I'm in jail and I'm strapped to
Yeah.
a chair, and
Life sucks.
yeah, the CEOs are laughing at me. They're like, "Look at this idiot! Like this
Yeah.
guy came in here acting a fool," and that was embarrassing, man. And so I don't ever want to put myself in a position where I don't remember what I did, man. Because then
Yeah.
coming out of it, you're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Y'all had to
No,
like restrain me.
I
You know
get
what I
it.
mean?
I've had friends tell me stories, and I'm like, that didn't happen. They're like, you want to see?
We got it on camera.
Yeah, you want to see the evidence, bro? Like, I'm like, wow, okay.
Exactly, man.
You know,
But I started going to school in Tyler, and I felt that same way, man. I was like, can I do this? Like, am I capable mentally of following through with this? Because I being somebody that did dope, I would never follow through on anything, bro.
Yeah.
I burned a bunch of bridges, and I just wouldn't show up to family gatherings or
Yeah.
wouldn't. I just took myself out of. I burned a lot of bridges, man.
If I showed up to family gatherings, it was because I had the munchies.
Yeah, bro.
You know what I mean?
Free
Like
food, right?
free food. I'm like, I'm gonna eat and I'm gonna go.
Yeah, and so you know, that was around the time where like I said, I was really trying to implement some healthy habits into my life. But the thing I struggle with, man, is took that addictive nature and I applied it to something else. So I was still an addict, and so I was running, but I was addicted to running. You know what I mean? It really wasn't filling the void that I had in my spirit. You know, I just was replacing a healthy addiction.
You hadn't worked through your
Or
problems.
a bad addiction with a healthy one. But how healthy was it for me really if I still wasn't dealing with the internal mess, you know? And so I didn't realize at the time, I thought that I was like winning, you know? I was like, man, I'm getting this figured out. And, you know, but I was just replacing a bad addiction with a different one, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, but it felt like it was a step in the right direction, you know? Which it was, you know.
Absolutely.
But so I was really focusing on school and on trying to exercise every day. You know, I got to the point where I could do a 5K, and then from there it was a 10K, and then got to the point where I wanted to try to do a half marathon. And so I started signing up for some races to kind of give myself a goal, something to look forward to, that I could just prove to myself that I could commit to, follow through with, you know, because my whole life has been a series of broken promises to myself and to other people, you know? And so, I just kind of was like, what can I do for myself to hold myself accountable in some way? And so I'm doing this, and the girl that I was with that I moved over to Tyler with, she ended up relapsing. And so, this kind of just started this downward spiral for her. You know, I was still living there, but she had to like move. She moved away from. We were staying with her parents at the time until I could find a place. Until I could get stable employment. But I was really focusing on going to school full time. And she ended up having to move out, man, go live with her grandma. And eventually, her use got so bad that I was like, man, I don't know if I can stay here anymore. You know. And, you know, for her, that was her hometown. So I feel like she was coming back into a situation that wasn't healthy for her, with some people that she had used with before previously. We're still in that town, you know?
Yeah.
And so, you know, we broke up. I ended up moving back to Amarillo. And not long after I moved back to Amarillo, I got a phone call that she was not feeling particularly well. I think she was having some chest pain, went to the ER, was in the waiting room, ended up I think going into cardiac arrest, ended up dying in the ER waiting room, man. And so, dude, I came back to Amarillo. I got that call from her cousin. I was working. I came back. My mom told me, she was like, you can come back to Amarillo, stay with me for a little bit. And so I came back. I finished school for the semester. This was when COVID was happening. This was 2020.
Oh, okay.
And so just crazy time, man. And so dealing with that, and then dealing with her passing away, you know, this is someone that I knew very intimately, that I had been with for years, you know, that I had rearranged my life to be with, and that I thought I had a future with, man. And so I came back to Amarillo. I got that call that she had passed away. And, I came back to Amarillo. I was just trying to, I stopped going to school for a while. I was just trying to make some money, trying to just get any job that I could. Ended up working for a like this delivery / moving company, kind of a third party company.
Yeah.
So we would like deliver during COVID. We would like deliver like these Peloton, you know, like the bikes and treadmills and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Stairmasters and rowing machines. So we would like deliver these machines, basically home delivery, put them together. And so I was traveling. I was going to like New Mexico, Kansas, Oklahoma. Went to LA once. Just all over the place, man, all over the panhandle. So, you know, but while I was in the midst of working this job, I got that call that my ex had passed away, man. And man, that was a really, really difficult time for me, man. I went back to Tyler to bury her. And man, I wouldn't wish that on anyone, man. That's why I say I've seen this disease firsthand, what it can do, man.
Yeah.
And having to come back and see her family and just the look on their faces, man. And just I told them, I was like, man, like, how are you? How are y'all making it through this? How are y'all? They were being very stoic during the funeral.
Yeah.
And they were like, man, we've been grieving her for years. Like we've basically accepted the fact that she was gonna die. If she
Right.
didn't get help, so we had already mourned her, you know. And so, man, that devastated me. And I came back to, or I was in Amarillo when I got that news, and I that was, you know, I would have breakdowns in my truck, man. I loved this girl. She meant a lot to me, and I that's when I really started hitting meetings in Amarillo, really trying to, because I'd seen what it had done to her, man, and I was scared to death, really, for the first time in my life.
That could happen to you.
I've really seen the consequences of it firsthand, you know,
Yeah.
and so and I didn't want to succumb to that same fate, you know. I in a way I wanted her to see me in heaven and be like proud of me, you know?
Yeah.
So that gave me kind of a new motivation. And so this is around the time when I found the boxing gym, you know?
I was about to say, like, bro, let's get to the boxing, dude.
Yeah,
like,
no,
you know, because
Nick's Fight Club over on 34th
here's
and Bell.
here's
in
the thing.
Amarillo.
Like, I try to tell people, like, a lot of people's goal is to get sober,
Mhm.
right? But if that is your only goal,
Yeah.
you're more than likely going to fail at it,
Yeah, absolutely.
right? If that's the highlight of your life was getting sober, you know what I'm saying? You're almost guaranteeing that you'll go back to it.
Yeah.
So when I see people using their sobriety to do things, you know what I'm saying? Do
Yeah.
things outside the norm,
Yeah, definitely.
right? Like who have this vision that says I can do more, I can
Mhm.
do more, you know. And so about I guess about 6 months ago, I started following you on Facebook,
Yeah.
and man, I think it's really cool how you go around to the gyms and like you work with a wide range
I do, man. All
of
ages,
people.
all
Like I've seen you
demographics,
with little
yeah.
old ladies. I've seen you with some dudes, some kids. You know,
Yeah.
so like, what inspired you to get into that?
Man, I really it was just depression, man. After my ex passing away, I knew I needed something to keep my head above water because I was really down and out, man. I was really dealing with some just some depression, dealing with her. Seeing it traumatized me, man. And I still have dreams about her, and I still think about her all the time, man. She was somebody that was really important to me. And you know, around this time I'm like, I gotta find something to ignite a fire in me
Right.
that you know, and running, I was, you know, I had at this point, I'd already run some races. When I lived in Tyler, you know, it's very, it's like you know, it's like forest, you know, so I
Yeah.
love that. It's complete opposite of the Panhandle,
It's
you
like
know.
southeast, right?
Yeah. It's a lot of like wooded area. I did a lot of trail running. You know, saw a lot of very beautiful things and places. And so, but I was kind of getting burnt out on it, man. I had been running for a couple of years, and I just was looking for something. Like I said, I was like Forrest Gump. You know, one day I just decided I don't want to run no more. You know?
Like, yeah, that's it.
So,
I'm walking home.
yeah, I was mid run and I stopped and I was like, yeah, I'm kind of over this, man. And you know, but I had
That's
done, I felt
hilarious.
like I had done everything that I wanted to do with it, you know? So,
Yeah.
I had just, and I, you know, like an addict, I had done it to excess.
Yeah.
You know, we don't really understand things in
Pushed it.
moderation, you
Yeah.
know? And so I kind of done it on an unhealthy level. And I just happened to be driving by 34th and Bell one day, man. It's behind like that little shopping center, like where Ollie's is,
Yeah.
and the plasma place, CSL Plasma. And I thought, oh, that place looks pretty cool, man. A fight club, like a boxing gym.
There's a gym back there now.
Yeah, it's a Nick's Fight Club. It's been there for a while, man. It's like in the very like behind like you're on
I know there used to be like a dentist shop, like a dentist behind them. There's like a. Never mind.
yeah, like it's on 34th and Bell. You pass that shopping center and it's right behind it.
I'm gonna have to check it out.
Yeah, man,
Yeah.
it's legit. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna go check this out. I'm gonna go give a class a try. You can like do your first one for free. And so I walked in there, man, and it was just like electric, you know?
Yeah.
I'm in there and I'm you know, there's a guy hitting mitts, and you know, it's like you just hear this like bop, bop, bop.
Yeah.
And you know, there's people doing jump rope and people running on the treadmill, and you know, they do like so they do like uh, uh like an hour-long class. So it's
Like
basically split in,
circuit, right?
yeah, it's basically like circuit training. Like it's split into 4 15-minute like sections. So
Yeah.
you have like your cardio, and then you have core, and then you have the heavy bags, and then you have the ring where you hit mitts.
Yeah.
And so just the energy I felt when I walked in there, man, it was just electric. You know, there were like pro fighters training with their coaches, and like it just, as somebody who was like getting into athletics and who was getting into who was into conditioning and doing a lot of cardio, that appealed to me, you know. And I kind of felt like these are my people. These are who I need to be around. And the coaches were great, man. They were so, you know, I went in there and I didn't know what the hell I was doing, but they were gracious with me and they were, you know, patient. And I just love the encouraging atmosphere, man. It was a place I felt like I needed to be. I felt like God had directed me there for a reason. So I signed up, and man, that was something that really got me through dealing with my ex passing away, man. Really, you know, a place where I could go and deal with my emotions on a healthy level. You know, there's something cathartic about going and like hitting a heavy bag, man. Whenever you're
bro.
just having a shit day, man, when you're especially those thoughts I was feeling, man, like I had a lot of guilt about my ex, about being like, is there something I could have done to
Yeah.
save her? But that's not, you know, my cross to bear. You know, you have to decide when you want to get clean, you know, but I felt responsible for it in a way um that wasn't healthy. Like I was just doing the what ifs, you know, like could I, if I had just shown up one more time,
Yeah.
or
No, I get it.
yeah,
I
and
get
so
it.
and so I you know, that was a place where I felt like I could go and sort out my emotions, you know. But again, I was doing it in an addictive way. I wasn't going and talking to someone about it. I wasn't going and
Working through.
yeah, man, working through the mess that I've just grown up around my whole life, you know. I kind of have a thing where I get fixated on something, have tunnel vision, and I get obsessed with it in kind of an unhealthy way,
I
you
know
know.
that feeling.
Yeah, for sure.
I know that
And I
feeling.
expect it to have all the answers, and it doesn't, you know. Like
Sometimes it hurts.
yeah,
Like sometimes like the brain hurts.
yeah. And so
But I'm the same way. Like I have my heavy bag in the back. I got my
yeah.
mitts in the back. Like when I'm frustrated, I go out there and I bang on it.
We'll have to get a session in sometime, man.
Bro, like I've been I've even brought it up to Mike a couple times. I'm like, bro, I should hit up Zach. Because there's times where, man, dealing with not just my own emotions, but other people's emotions,
Yeah.
as often as I do,
Mm-hmm. It
gets
takes
to-
a toll on you,
it
man.
takes a toll on me,
Yeah.
and I want to get it out, you know.
Yeah.
And
Well,
that's
anytime, bro. You
that's
just let
always
me
been
know.
a healthy avenue to hit the bag. You know, I got mitts and gloves, and I got everything back there. But it's always been healthy for me to go out there and do those kinds of
Yeah.
things. Yeah, exert that energy. Again, like kind of like you said, it's that time where I can sort my problems out with God.
Yeah.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
get my aggression out if I need to get my aggression out
Yeah.
before I just go full blown asshole on somebody.
Yeah.
You
Absolutely, man.
know,
For sure. And man, that you
and it makes you super humble.
yeah, absolutely.
Super humble.
Nothing humbles you more than getting punched in the face.
Nothing
man, for
humbles
sure.
you more than getting knocked around a few times.
Yeah.
You know, I used to tell people, man, like the hardest thing for me to deal with is passive aggressive people.
Yeah.
Like aggressive people, I love it.
Yeah.
You know, passive people doesn't bother me. Passive aggressive drives me insane.
Yeah.
You know
Same,
what I'm
man.
saying? Like it drives me nuts because they got that humble voice where it's like, da-da-da. But they're really like, you know, taking shots.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Backhanded compliments and stuff.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And so when you finally get mad, and then they want to slap you with the guilt trip, like, I wasn't
Yeah.
say anything. And so like that part gets me mad. It's like, just hit me in the face,
I admire
man.
you more if you just straight up tell me
Yeah,
what you think.
just tell me what you think and punch me in the mouth.
Yeah.
I have 10 times more respect for you.
For sure, man. But like it felt like just a place I needed to be, so I signed up. Really, I started going. So they have classes from like 5 in the morning till like about they end at like 8 o'clock at night. So you know, I was still working for the delivery company, but that gave me kind of an avenue to you know, like running gave me something to strive towards. And so I just started going religiously, man. Trying to make a point, like meetings, to go at least 4 or 5 times a week.
Yeah. So that kind of turned into your recovery program in a big sense.
Yeah, it did, man. It was an integral part, but it didn't like I said, it didn't help me with the internal work that I needed to do by just, like getting a sponsor or
Yeah.
reading the book, man, reading the basic text, or I just was using it as kind of a void filler. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I love boxing, man. I'm not discrediting my experience. It was very healing for me in some regards, but I made it my whole identity for, for a couple years. And I eventually relapsed, man, but I'll get to that in a sec. So I started working out there, and about 3 years in, I had one of the trainers refer me to like the head coach that was there that hired people, and got hired on as a trainer, man. And I not something I ever thought I would do, which is it was crazy. It was so I had some of the trainers there that I had worked with for or trained with for a couple of years, kind of show me the ropes, kind of show me the basics. And it was really something that I found purpose in, man. I started, holding mitts and kind of learning the intricacies of the sport, and started reading up on guys like Mike Tyson, who was a juvenile delinquent, man. I mean, he was picking people's pockets, and he was running with juvenile delinquents in New York, and was just in and out of juvie, man. And so I could relate to that, being someone who felt like they didn't really have an identity,
Yeah.
And so I read a book about him. It was called Undisputed Truth, yeah. And then a book about his trainer, Customato. And it really spoke to me, man, because I feel like boxing and recovery kind of can correlate with each other,
Absolutely.
Because boxing is a very individual sport.
Yeah.
You dictate how far you can go.
Right. And it's a you versus you type battle.
Yeah, exactly. Which translates to recovery. You decide how far you want to go. You decide what you get out of it. So yeah, I started doing group fitness classes and built me a nice little group of people that came to come train with me. And so but like I said, man, I relied too much on that, man. Put too much of my identity into that.
Yeah.
And we had a guy who came on with us at the delivery company that I was working with. And I could tell this guy had used dope before. You know how like dope heads, they have a certain look. Like you're just like, yeah, I think this guy uses dope, man.
And
I don't know what it is. It's
for us, it's always when we run into that, it's always that. I wonder if he has any. You know, like I wonder if he has any like right now.
Yeah, bro. And what ended up?
I've been there, bro.
Yeah.
Like
you read my mind, but you
like
my next
how am I gonna
me,
pop this question?
Yeah.
To where he's gonna reveal.
Yeah. But I didn't even have to ask, man. He was riding with me one day. We were going to a move, and he said, "Hey, man, you want some of this?" Pulled out a pipe.
Yeah.
And that chemical reaction, man.
Didn't even think about it.
That switch flip,
Didn't even think about it.
I knew that I was a trainer. I knew that I had a lot to lose. And I just went for it, man. And then that started the whole process all over again.
All over again.
That's when I relapsed. And I didn't have that extreme moment that I had before.
Yeah.
I was still, because I knew that I had bills to pay. I was living on my own. And
so would you call it a full-blown relapse, or was it just kind of like a hiccup?
No, it turned into a full-blown relapse, man. It gradually got worse.
Okay.
And so, I eventually got to the point where I was calling into work a lot, and where I just like wasn't showing up. And this guy was basically like, became my dealer, man, that I worked with. And I knew I needed to separate myself from him, but we worked together, and if I knew it was in the vicinity, it's impossible for me, bro, to not want to do it.
I get it.
And so this about a year, man, it was my use was on and off. And I had met this girl at church. I played music at this church that I went to. I went to Trinity Fellowship when I was in high school. The church out on Hollywood Road. They had a school for a period of time.
Yeah.
And I learned to play music there. They had a chapel kind of program where they train musicians to play for our chapel service that we went to. every week. And so I played bass, and so I kind of learned how to play music through that program at Trinity. And ended up I played in high school. I played at Trinity for a couple of, like, their services. I did their, like, middle school service that they had, and then I also played at their, like, main services that they had. And so I ran into an old friend of mine uh when I went to this church, and ended up playing music there, and was, like, doing real good, man. I was boxing, I was playing music. I had met this girl through the church. I was really in a good place, man. But I knew that guy that I worked with had dope on him, man. And then I just, all logic went out the window, And so I started using, lost all that, man. Was engaged to this girl. I was like a month away from getting married, bro, to this girl at my church. And my use my I started drinking again as well. And so my dope usage and my drinking got so out of control. I ended up just quitting playing music. Uh which was something that I was being paid to do. It was kind of my another source of income that I had. Quit that. We broke our engagement off, and I had to start from scratch all over again, man, because my use got so out of control. Wasn't boxing as much, wasn't working out as much, and I that's when I really started getting back into the program again. So I walked into the rooms, and I had all this stuff that was really, I was really helping me keep on the straight and narrow, and I just threw it all out the window, man.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't,
Moments of weakness.
yeah, I just let one decision, one moment of weakness turn into a year of just continual usage, man. And that guy ended up getting fired eventually. Yeah, I've seen him on, like, mugshot page a couple of times since then, man. And whenever he got fired, that's when it really, like, I was like, okay, it's not around anymore. Like, but I still had his number, so I had to do, like you said, I had to block his number.
Take it all
I had
out.
to remove, I had to just start over, man. And I had nothing. I was coming off of a engagement that was broken off. People in the church knew that I was using. And so I just had this embarrassment and kind of, you know, uh, just brokenness that I came into the rooms with. And that's when I started going to the 7 o'clock meeting over at
Boss.
yeah. Well, no, it was over on it was NA, it was over on Georgia Street.
Oh,
That,
okay.
that church
Okay.
over on Georgia. I'm not sure exactly what it's called, but they had a 7 p.m. meeting.
Yeah.
And so I've been to Clean Air as well across the street, which really helped me. But I started going into NA, man. And that's when I had to rebuild my life, from scratch at that point, because I really had nothing, man.
And this was 9 months ago?
No, this was so I came in and I relapsed. I quit dope. I've been off dope for, like, I would say 2 years now. And then I've quit alcohol for 9 months.
Okay.
So
Pure sobriety for 9 months.
yeah. And
Gotcha.
so like I relapsed on I drank alcohol on my birthday. I'd gone out with some people and drank when I shouldn't have drank, because I was feeling myself. Like, I had that same thing where I was like, oh, I can have one drink, and I didn't get to the point where I, like, got wasted and out of control, but I felt a lot of guilt over having that drink, and I just don't like how I act when I drink, bro. I'm a completely different person. It's like a Jekyll and Hyde thing.
Bro, I'm a loon.
Yeah,
I'm a
I
complete
turn
loon.
into just an asshole, man. I'm just very aggressive. I'm very I'm just a jerk. Like,
Right.
I'm not that way in person, I'm usually I'm very calm and collected. But under alcohol, man, I just turn into a monster,
Yeah.
And so I felt guilt about, drinking again. So that's when I was like, all right, it's time to lock in. And ever since then, I've been, free of alcohol. Thank God, the horrors of alcohol. And but I think I still have a lot of work to do, man. Like, I'm still very early in my recovery. I've spent a lot of my life living selfishly, living for myself, burning bridges. And so, man, I am just so thankful for the life I have now, man. I'm so grateful that I've been able to stick with it this time
So
around.
let's talk about this new life you got. Like, it's 9 months. What's changed from
Everything, bro.
everything?
I still, I got I'm training in a different place now. I left the boxing gym for a better opportunity. thankfully I'm getting paid a little bit more to train now. I'm over at Anytime Fitness now. So I'm the trainer at the one in Hereford, and then I help out with the one in Canyon.
Okay.
And so like right after this, I have 4 people I have to go train.
Okay.
And then, I try to do, but I love it because it's like not just boxing, it's like weightlifting.
Yeah.
I've gotten a whole education. It's been a whole new thing I've been, learning and brushing up on, and I had a lot of really good trainers at Nick's that really I learned from.
Taught you the right way.
Yeah. That taught me how to be a good trainer, man. And I really appreciate, those people that poured into me and who believed in me, man, and took a chance on me. That was a defining moment in my life when I walked into that gym, man. And like you said, surrounding yourself with people who are trying to elevate, seeing how, pro boxers and amateur boxers and just all around athletes conduct themselves, and going in and seeing what they do every day, watching them, observing, and just seeing the amount of discipline it takes to really get to that level, man. It's incredible. Because, boxing is not only technique, it's conditioning, it's, rhythm, it's tempo. There's a lot of intricacies,
Yeah.
And so it's one of the hardest sports you can learn, man. So just seeing guys get in there and work with their coaches, and just seeing that grit and determination they showed up with every day, it really showed me what it takes, man. And I wanted to apply that to my recovery, and so I really grateful for the time that I had there, man. And I still incorporate that. And I love seeing somebody who's like never boxed before and they're nervous.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, I'm not sure about this. But then
it's like the first day you walked in an AA room.
Yeah. And then they land like a good 2 on the mitts, and you hear that pop, and then you see that look in their eyes, and they're like, man, this is actually kind of fun. I really enjoy bringing that experience to people, And so
I enjoy watching your little clips on, like, I'm like, yeah, that's what's up, bro.
Yeah, like I got a
that's what's up.
74-year-old lady, man, who's like, I've never boxed before.
And that cracked me up. When I saw that, bro, I died. I was like, he is teaching this old lady how to get it. And she was, too.
Yeah, she
was getting it.
She has more grit and determination than a lot of my clients that are, in their 20s, man. She shows up and she works hard, and that's how I want to be, bro. I want to be, that old head that's still getting after it, and still.
I feel you, man.
Well,
Zach, we're running out of time, brother.
Gotcha.
But I got a couple questions I want to ask you before we close out the show.
Yeah, absolutely, bro.
Right. What can we expect from you in the future?
Well, just what I really feel like my next step in my recovery, man, is I would like to take meetings to jails and institutions, places like the Pavilion. I feel like kind of that's where I'm being called.
Okay.
Called to, I've accumulated some time to where that's it can be realistic for me now.
Mm-hmm.
So, man, I just continuing to work a good program, man, which is can be hard to do being as busy, having the things that I have now. I find it more challenging now in my recovery than when I had all this time on my hands,
Yeah.
Because I really have to make my recovery a priority, whether that's getting up in the morning, going to a 6 or 7 a.m. meeting, or even going to a half an hour of a meeting,
Yeah.
Like, at least I'm getting some solutions, some how and some why.
I mean, that's what I did before we did this show. Like, I went and caught 30 minutes at Touchstone and came back.
Yeah, and even that, man, I feel better when I leave.
Just showing up, showing up.
Yeah.
All right, my last and final question.
Absolutely.
Who's going to win, Mayweather or Pacquiao?
Oh, man, is that happening? Are they doing
That's happening, bro.
Man.
Like, that's a happening thing.
Their fights, their fight before, man, was one of the best fights I've ever seen, man.
I truly believe Pacquiao won that fight.
Yeah.
Like, he had Mayweather on the ropes.
Yeah.
Like, he was shook. They gave it to Mayweather. I understand why they gave it to Mayweather, because to beat the champ, you have to beat the champ.
Yeah.
Right? So I get that part. I really, but I want to hear your opinion. Mayweather or Pac?
I think Mayweather's, I mean, it's hard to argue against him being the GOAT, man. Technically and, defensive wise, he's immaculate, man.
He's got a Philly shell that's ridiculous.
But there's something beautiful about seeing those two guys go at it again,
Yeah.
But I think Mayweather, man.
Gonna go Mayweather?
I'll be going for Pacquiao.
All right, bro. Like, it's on, bro. Because I'm definitely with Bullet, bro.
When is it happening?
I think the throwdown, it's gonna be in September, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sweet, man.
Yeah. No, like, Mayweather done screwed himself. He has to fight.
Yeah.
He took a $70 million advance.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, so he has no choice. Like, he has to fight, or there's Netflix is suing him for his entire fortune.
So it'll be on Netflix.
Yeah, it'll be a Netflix fight. Of course, Bullet's been my favorite boxer ever since he retired Oscar De La Hoya. So I'm I'm all in on Pacquiao on this one.
Yeah, I've been watching a lot of Ryan Garcia, man.
Yeah, I mean,
That
bro,
guy
there's
is
some really good boxers out there. You know, but yeah, we're about out of time, bro. So I'm gonna wrap this show up, man. I want to thank you for coming out on the show, bro.
absolutely, man.
Taking
It
time
was
out
an
of your day
honor.
to come out here.
Yes,
You
sir.
know, it's and you'll get to see, bro. Like you'll get to see how when we come out here and we tell our testimony, show like this, the reach
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
that it'll reach so many people who are affected, and the appreciation that comes from those people.
Hmm.
Will, and it'll warm your heart. I know it warms mine every time.
It was an honor, bro. I appreciate
Yeah,
you giving
no
me the
problem.
opportunity to come and tell a little bit about my testimony.
Yeah, brother.
You know,
Anytime you want to come back, bro, you're more than welcome.
absolutely, bro.
All right, man. Well, we're gonna close out this episode of Better Days Rain. If you would like to support our mission, you can always visit our Printify store. We sell T-shirts, hats, coffee cups, mugs, bumper stickers. We have a whole slew of things. We are changing the logo, so the store setup is going to change. We got a super fire new logo. Super stoked about get it on the new shirts and new hoodies. Other than that, man, we are on every major platform you can think of: YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Spotify. We're on everything. So, man, be sure to like, share, and comment, man. And I want to emphasize the share part.
Mhm.
And it's not for my gain, right? Maybe you don't suffer with the disease of addiction, and maybe it's not your problem, but I'm sure there's somebody in your circle who does. And we are absolutely trying to reach those people who genuinely need help, don't know how to find help, or literally too scared, don't have the courage to step into an AA room and put their business out. And I've come to this conclusion, like it's not about people being willing to do those things. Sometimes that fear is overwhelming, but we want to help plant those seeds and reach those people. In saying that, thank you for watching. Y'all have a blessed weekend.
Thanks, guys.